It'd be really cool if I didn't pay for having a good day by having a bad day. It seems like there's no in between zone. What I wouldn't give for like a series of okay days. How are you doing, Eric? Oh, neutral, normal, just fine. But instead, it's this bipolar swinging between, hey, I'm having a good day, I'm doing the things, I'm getting stuff done, and then the next day, just exhausted. Utterly fucking exhausted. All the time. I don't know how to escape this. Like, I'm on mood stabilizers. I'm trying to live a relatively stable life. I understand and appreciate the need for, sleep and regulation and moderation and whatnot, but to a certain degree, I suspect that there's something about society, something about our world that engenders this kind of thinking, because I'm definitely not the only person that's in this boat. But like if we do some media analysis, if we do some analysis of advertising, the ideal that's portrayed is one of extreme satisfaction. That the aim of the consumer is to purchase this thing, get this vacation, get these Instagram worthy moments that portray you as the most happiest, the bestest version of yourself. But of course, it leaves out all those icky, nasty, bad days that you don't really notice. But I've spoken before as well about the anesthetizing quality of having extremely bad experiences. That once you've had a very bad experience or had this outpouring of rage or anger or extreme sadness, even, that it anesthetizes away this vague sense of ugh that is pretty well omnipresent. And on my good days, I do feel a great sense of motivation to try and address some of the ugh. And that's usually when I produce my best videos, produce the best content, and I get some actual writing done, and clean up my disastrous apartment and that sort of stuff. But then, as the energetic surge starts to wane, the evidence of the state of the world starts to creep into this. And then that energy starts to turn sour, turn toxic. And then this sense of hopelessness starts to creep in. And any expenditure of effort starts to take on this quality of futility, which doesn't last for very long. That motivation doesn't last for very long. Then I just end up going nowhere, back to Mars. What was I going to say? Shit. And this also kind of reflects the state of politics, particularly in North America recently as well, where there's this false dichotomy presented, this false combat between the liberals and the conservatives, or the Republicans and the Democrats, and they're all basically on the same side. Like, they're all neoliberals. They're all they have the same policies. They all have the neoliberal set of policies. But the surface differences are so accentuated as to have divided people into extreme camps, extreme binaries of political thought, even though those binaries are basically aesthetic in nature. Because, yeah, like I do not have anything in common with the Liberal Party nor the Conservative Party insofar as they don't represent the interests of the environment for the main thing, and then like human interests for another thing. Their both main interest is in economic health, economic well-being. And like, yes, I understand that the human world depends on an economic model that is functional, but the economic model that they're building, the one that they advocate for, is inherently non-functional, and it requires constant interventions in order to keep it going. And I think that's what people don't understand about in neoliberal economics, is that it purports to be a non-interventionist model, one where the political regime is not meant to intervene in the market and the market is supposed to be free. But actually it requires heavy intervention. The government its only role is basically in intervening in the economy to keep it stable, so that competition and all those other sorts of miraculous and mythical forces continue to operate society in this miraculously just way, which obviously doesn't work. And it leads to these wide swings. You've got extreme booms and extreme busts, and nothing ever really progresses in a stable and healthy way, because it's all about maximizing the acceleration towards economic growth, need more money, 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 money. And then all of a sudden the economy, if you were to personify it, realizes that, oh, right, great, we've grown faster than we can possibly sustain, and now we have to have a contraction. Like Wile E. Coyote running off the cliff and then realizing, uh-oh, I've run off a cliff. And as soon as he looks down, well, I see this as all tied together. My bipolar state, the economic bipolar state, the commercial consumer economic state, yada, yada, yada. Random musings. It'll come to something more comprehensive later, once I get my shit back together. Anyway, I do make videos daily, and some of them are more coherent than others. Check out those ones. You might like them. Thanks for watching, and, do algorithmic stuff if you did like it, or even if you didn't, whatever. And I'll see you tomorrow.